Hello, everyone. Today, we will discuss about the fundamentals of qualitative research design and how we can collect the data. That is, method of data collection. Very important point. First of all, we need to understand what is qualitative research. Qualitative research is always aimed to explore and understand the depth and complexity of human behavior. Very interesting point. That is where we cannot apply the quantitative research, because quantitative research, we have to deal with the number. We have to go with it as a questionnaire also. We will give them option A, B, C, D, E. But in qualitative research design, we will try to explore the complex human behavior. And definitely here, we will go in-depth research. We have to understand that this qualitative research design is always descriptive in nature, and we can do the understanding of the phenomena by observation, by interpretation of it. So we need to understand that how we can set up the conditions for qualitative research design. Now let us first start with the natural setup, natural setting. What is called the natural setting in qualitative research design? First, we need to understand that it is all about the real human behavior and their life. So here we have to understand that we will go with natural setting, natural setup. What is the actual environment of that particular phenomenon? We cannot change it. We have to go for our research, and we have to say field visit. You have to visit. You want to go for cultural study. You want to observe to a particular community that what is their marriage culture, what is their, say, food culture. So in that case, you have to go for natural setting. You cannot make it laboratory. You have to go directly to the field and to collect the data. So today we will also discuss about the data collection method. So literally most of the time, we are not having the right concept of the qualitative research design. And therefore, we are trying to make the changes in our data. So you have to be very, very careful regarding the data collection and the data interpretation. Today, we will confine our discussion about the fundamentals of qualitative research and only to data collection method. So first, we are understanding that it is real world event. Real world event. You are doing your research, you're going to collect, say, in the higher education, child education, you may be doing your research in political science. All right. So in this case, say the psychology. So you are going to the direct person for maybe interview. Okay, you are doing your research in law field. In such cases also, you can adopt the qualitative research design to meet the prisoner. Say you are discussing, you are taking the interview. But one very important point we have to remember, whether you are preparing the questionnaire or you are making, say, interview, or you are conducting focus group research, it should be always open-ended. You have to collect the real data. You need to understand that you are collecting the real data, and it is not the number. It is all about their experience. So let them explain the phenomena truly in front of you, and then you can move forward. The second very important point in the qualitative research design I wanted to share with you, that is their experiences. That is those who are participating in your interview, those who are responding to your questionnaire, then it is very important to know about their viewpoint. It's not about that you can impose something to them, then it will be not the fair interview. You need to understand that you wanted to conduct one neutral interview. You will be unbiased. So your question will be such a way that it will bring back the what is their own experience about the life. Say you were asking about their lifestyle, you are asking about some phenomena. then you need to understand that you are emphasizing to know about the real significance of the problem. So of course, you have to go with the research gap, finding out your research questions, then the research problem. Now, what is the problem you are addressing here in this, say, qualitative research design? First, very important that you will understand that those who are giving you interview, those who are responding to your questionnaire, you will collect their real viewpoint and of course their experiences. Otherwise, it will be fabricated. So very important point is that in qualitative research design, we will go for collecting the experiences and the viewpoint of our respondent or the participant. So thereafter, we are discussing the another very important point that is coming with the qualitative research design, and it is actually the inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning, very important point I would like to share with you, and I hope that it will be truly helpful while you are starting your qualitative research design. So in this case, you need to understand that how you will approach the respondent with your right question. So in qualitative research, we are always using inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning, why it is happening? Explain me, please, how it is happening. So your question should be like that so that they can explain the phenomena in front of you properly, and you can understand the pattern. So in qualitative research design, say you are going with the sampling. So there is no hard and fast rule for the sampling, that what will be the numbers of the sampling. And thereafter also there is no formula for it. So since there is no thumb rule, we have to based on our research design. We need to go with the perfect research design in qualitative research design. So therefore, we have to understand that it is all about their thought process and as well as inductive reasoning. Okay. So sometimes we are doing the discourse analysis. What is this? This is the argumentative. Both are person giving their own viewpoints. So try to go with the inductive reasoning. Try to get their viewpoints. It may be creating the controversy, but you are going with this. Then in qualitative research design, you have to understand that rich and descriptive data are very important. Here, data are descriptive because what we are using here, software. Say, if you wanted to go for analysis of your qualitative data, then you can use the NVivo 12 or 14 and MaxQDA or Atlas DI. These are the software useful for qualitative research design. Now you see that the rich and descriptive data, and what does it mean? It is text-based. It is not number. In qualitative research design, the very important point that the data are maybe the textual format or maybe visual. Visuals are also very important nowadays. What we have observed that in most of the cases, say you are taking the interview, then you can keep the video recording. Yes, of course, this video recording will be useful for data analysis. We will discuss later on what is the inductive coding, deductive coding. Okay, what are the methods, different methodology you can adopt for the qualitative research design. What is called triangulation to justify your data collection and analysis. And especially, it's like NVivo software, MaxQDA software, how you can use this one. So first point is that you need to understand the form of data. And here it is maybe the textual based data. Text, you are taking the one question in questionnaire, you are taking the interview, you are writing down the question, you are writing down the answer. Or it can be visual also. So you can go with the observation. Okay, you are doing, say, one research in what community, on one community, inside it, you are being there. You are being there in the community and you are making your observation. It can be there also. Okay, it can be based on some documents. Here I have mentioned. So we need to understand that it is always more and more descriptive, and our aim is to capture the realistic data in detail. Okay, in detail, it is very, very important. So next point, whenever you are conducting, say, interview, focus group, you are making your questionnaire, the process orientation is very important in case of qualitative research design. So what is called the process orientation? I would like to explain in front of you. These are very important point and you need to follow while you are adopting the qualitative research design. And these are the fundamental steps. Fundamental steps. Before data collection, you should have this one. Then we are now moving forward to the data collection, that how you can collect the data. But before it, we need to understand that process orientation is important for the researcher in qualitative research design. So what is there that you have to focus on the process, that is how it is happening. Why these are the phenomena we have found, why it is happening. You need not to only focus on outcomes, that this is the result. No, this is descriptive. So you have to focus on complete process, not only the output of the result, that this in this community this is happening, this is the final. No, you have to move forward from the very beginning. It is a stepwise process. So it is always known as the process orientation. You have to go with the process orientation, then only you will get the proper steps in qualitative research design. So, for example, you want to go with the grounded theory. So data are grounded. You have to understand that how data are changing. I will explain later on how to develop the theory. But the problem is that most of the time, the researcher not starting their qualitative research design with process orientation, which is the main drawback in their research. They do not know what is the actual process. So they are not having the stage wise, that this is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, how it is developed. You are doing your research in religious study. So it's not like that only you will go with the conclusion that this is a good religion, this is a bad. You cannot do that. You have to show the process. You have to move with the realistic process, why it is happening. Thereafter, we need to understand that the flexibility in your qualitative research design, it is very important. Whenever you are ready for the qualitative research design, make sure that you are going with your flexibility in the research. So why it is flexible? Is it like that you need not to do any work? It's not like that. The truly the flexibility mean you are allowing some adjustment during the progress of your research. Adjustment. That is flexible means depending upon the, I have already explained, depending upon the process, you may change your direction of research slightly. You have find out something new. Okay. So you need to understand you are making the adjustment, and flexibility help you to understand in depth of that particular problem. First, your assumption is something. You are assuming out, you are outsider. Say you are not inside that community. Now you are inside the community. As in first your literature review, you are having some idea. Okay, idea. You based on your idea, you have prepared your research design. You have defined your research problem. You have made your research question. You have find out the right research gap, and you are starting your research. Now, very interesting point. Flexibility means it is in-depth research with dynamic movement in your research. That means you are doing your research and you have find out that yes, this is very important point, and I was not looking into this one. Earlier, I did not have any idea that this is very important part in this particular community, this particular religion. I do not know these things. I have come to know now. I should also emphasize to get the real data from that particular community or particular religion, or maybe you are doing the research on higher education and you are now doing on the some professors, okay, head of the departments in the science school. then you are getting that these are the problem faced by them, particularly in the science division. So then you can make your research deeper into that point also. It is called the flexibility. It doesn't mean like that whatever you can do, you are getting and you are doing. No, it's all about the importance of the research in the entire process. So we have to move in that. That is qualitative research design purely go for in-depth research. So this flexibility is a very important point in qualitative research design to make the in-depth research, whatever the new things you are getting, new informations you are getting, you have to understand and you have to move forward with it. Now, very important, you have to go with holistic view of your research. What is it? Let me explain here. I would like to share with you. So you can see here, that is whenever you are starting your qualitative research design, then you have to start it with holistic viewpoint. That is, in the totality of the situation, you have to go with the interactions, and also you have to connect the points rather than isolating the specific variable. This is very important point in qualitative research design, because whenever you are doing qualitative research design, you have one research problem. But after starting your research, you will come to know some new dimension. New dimension you will get it here, and therefore it is always advised to go with to construct an holistic view of the phenomenon. Holistic view you have to adopt, and then you can understand the totality of the situation of the system. It should not be like that you are just considering particular area only, and based on that research you are making your result. No, whenever you are starting your research, make the holistic view on. You have to be concerned with the totality of the system or the phenomenon. You cannot ignore some very important point of that particular phenomena. Then your research will be not the qualitative research design, and you are not actually focusing on the reality of the problem. So if you want to show the reality of the problem, you have to cover the complete phenomena. Then it will be interesting and really fruitful research. Thereafter, you see that subjectivity. It is also very important, and as a resource you can use in qualitative research design. So what we call the subjectivity in the qualitative research design, I would like to share with you. This is also very important point. I think that it will help you to build your base in the fundamental of the qualitative research design, because we are going with the qualitative research design. Now you see that you are doing your qualitative research design and you are considering some valuable resources. So you have to go with the real reflection of the phenomena, that is to shape the interpretation of the data. Very important. Let me explain here. That is, whenever you are going with the subjectivity, then you will go for more detail. You are interacting with some person. You are making, say, interview, you are making focus group, whatever it is, you are making some discussion, you are making some question. This is very important point for you, that during the discussion, you will get more and more subjective data from their side. Your aim is to get the explanation, to get the description of that particular phenomena. Then during the interpretation of the data, you are having the quality results. That is qualitative research. You have to define in that. You have to understand that you are covering all aspects, and say the person who is giving the interview, he is giving you each and everything, whatever is in his hand. So This is very important that your approach should be always subjective, and you have to go with some interesting question so that the respondent will open up with you. They will go with that whatever you want to know from their side. So thereafter, it is related to the above point, that is the interactive design. Okay. And I think that this is the last point in the fundamentals of my qualitative research design. Thereafter, we will discuss about how to collect the data. But before it, we must have the clear idea that how we'll go for the data collection. Okay, especially the design part. So you see that the interactive design, that means the qualitative research can be interactive. That is the data collection you are doing with the interaction with the respondent. Very important point. So before you are analyzing the data, you have to filter it. So therefore, your good interaction will give you the opportunity to go with the best data. To go with the base data, then only you will understand that yes, okay, these are the data which are actually I'm looking for. This is phenomena. I'm doing the research. Say the COVID-19 pandemic after that, what is the experience of the people? So you have to go with the respondent in detail, that how they are suffering, what they are thinking, that what are the medicines they are taking after recovery, how they are feeling, their health. Okay, what about their emotions? Each and everything you need to discuss. This is one example that I have given with you in front of you. Now you see that very important point, that is the data collection. Okay, data collection and how we can go for data collection in qualitative research design. So first, I would like to share with you in-depth interview. Yeah, because this is always trending and the researcher love to use it. That is, sir, I want to use the interview method. Now the question will be there, how to use the in-depth interview and how we can move forward for this method in data collection. So it always involves one-to-one interview. That is why it is the in-depth interview. So we have already explained that how we should carry out the data collection like interview. Here we are particularly explaining the in-depth interview and the data collection method. So you see that here, say interview can be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. But it should be open-ended. So what is structured? You have already structured everything. Okay, you have already structured, you have the questions, but open-ended. You want to know about that how it is happening, why it is happening. So you have structured it. Okay, structured interview means you have your questions, but these are open-ended. These are not objective. In qualitative research design, these are always open-ended and they can explain their own theory. Sometimes semi-structured. Semi-structured means you are having some central questions in your hand. Some central question, you are planning that, okay, these are the 5 questions, my central question. But during the interview, whatever it will come, I will go in that. So you are dynamic here somehow. Because semi-structured, I think that this is one of the best policy for the young researcher. You are having some questions and on the spot also, you can create some questions which are open-ended and it is there to collect the data. Then unstructured, that is sometimes some experts people, they are doing their research and they are meeting one after another in in-depth interview. Even if it is the unstructured, they are flowing with the discussion. They are flowing with the discussion. One question will come after the another question. First question he will start, then there will be some discussion. Then after discussion, he will realize, no, this is the best question. I have to go. So for this purpose, you need the expertise in that particular field. Earlier, you have large numbers of interview. We have gone through that one. So for you now, it is very simple to flow with the respondent feelings, their experience. Okay, what is their viewpoint? So you are gathering all these things and you can go with the structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Okay, that in-depth interview. This is really, I am telling you, useful. So if you are going with triangulations or like that, so you can select interview as one of the best method for data collection. So now another very important point, and it is also very popular, that is the focus group. And how to conduct the focus group interview, I am telling you. So in the focus group interview, you have to consider one small group of participants, okay, not the larger, not the 50, 60. It may be, say, 6 to 12 typically, or it can be also 15 number. Maximum, say, you will go for 18, 19, not more than, never. So we are preparing generally the 12 to 15 people, okay, and you are, say, guided by the moderator, or you are playing the role as a moderator to carry out the group discussion. It's simply the group discussion, the group of people. There may be in one corporate. You are understanding the corporate culture, that the peoples, those who are in the sales team, those who are in the marketing team, those who are in the operational branch, those who are in the establishment branch. So maybe in one branch, there will be 6, 7 people or 12 people, 15 people. So with the group of people, you wanted to explore the corporate culture. And this kind of research are purely professional, because you can interpret the data and you can publish it in the top journal. So therefore, while conducting the focus group interview, you have to understand the cultural norms of the group, opinion, group opinion, and you have to encourage the participants to interact. It is not like that 3 participants only interacting and you are conducting the focus group interview, and finally you are having 15 people, and finally you come to know that no, the 3 people or 4 people are taking part in the interview. Then it is not useful. You have to very clear idea. You have to go with the very clear idea that you will reveal the reality of the system, and it is not the individual interview, it is the focus group. So purely the discussion, and whatever the discussion, you will take it as your data. You will take it as your data and you will utilize these things into your research design. Then thereafter, I would like to share with you another very important method in qualitative research design, and it is the participant observation. Participant observation method, and this is also very wonderful, and so many people are using this one also. It is also one of the popular method for data collection in qualitative research design. So what we call that participant observation, we need to understand. Now you see that the researcher can place themselves within a community, within a cultural group, or any specific context they are studying. Really interesting. Here, the researcher themselves become the instrument, and with the participant observation, it will give you the opportunity to go deeper into the topic, to understand about the participants' behavior, their social interactions, their motives. So it is one of the useful method. That is, in the observation method, you can be the part or you may be outside it also. So it is called the participant observation. You are inside the group, you are being the part of them, say one cultural phenomenon. It may be one, say, festival of a particular community, and you wanted to do the research in that particular festival. Now, what is in your hand? You are having the opportunity to interact with them if you are conducting the participant observation. So make sure that you are always ready with this. If you are making the qualitative research design, make sure that you are making one of the data collection method as participant observation. Very useful. If your research design demand it, go for it. Stay there. Understand their culture. Take the realistic view. Take their video recording, take their interviews. You use yourself as an instrument there. And definitely you will find out that super exciting super exciting results there. The data are really wonderful and realistic. So thereafter, you see that we can go with some other, say, documents analysis also. Documents analysis, it is one of the, say, good method in case of qualitative research design. Because you see here, sometimes we have to go with the survey, sometimes we have to go with the government, some data, some documents that is already scripted, or maybe sometimes some books are there, some say a mythological part, it is there also in qualitative research design. And you are visiting some temple, then some scripts are there. Okay, sometimes some photographs are there, some videos are there. So document analysis is one of the main data collection process in qualitative research design. So you have to use this one. So you can include here your newspaper, some newspaper also, if it is ethical in nature. Very important, the ethical research. Okay. So thereafter, maybe some photographs, non-fabricated. I am not telling about the AI generated photograph. It may be the realistic photograph. Okay. Also the video. If you are having the real video of some affairs, then you can use it in your research. You can use it as your references. Okay. And if some permission need to take, you can use the permission. You can get the permission. So this method will help you to understand the trend, development, and historical context within or without, okay, say the need. So therefore, it is very important to use the documents analysis. That means you have to go with the right documents with some ethical evidences. Okay. So thereafter, another very important method we have seen in qualitative research design, that is the case study method for data collection. Okay, case study. So what we call the case study and how we can carry out. Actually, I think that it is maybe the one topic for particular lecture. Today, we are just touching the fundamental part. Okay, in the case study. It's a huge part. In the case study, we have to explain a lots of things. Okay, how you can compare the cases, how you have to go with the single situation or the multiple situations. Okay, so here you see that the individual, group, event, or single situation you can address by case study method. So it is always used to explore the complex issue in the real life setting. Okay, and here you see that the data, whatever you are collecting, okay, in case study, this is very, very important. It is evidence based. So sometimes people are comparing the cases. Sometimes you are going with the single situations, sometimes multiple situations. So these are very important aspects of the data collection. Case study method, you can focus on it. I even in the upcoming my talk, I will explain more about this. Okay, more about this, that how you can use the case study method as one of the best tool for your data collection. Okay, and finally, I wanted to discuss with you the visual method. This is also very important. That visual method in qualitative research design. Because nowadays you see that we are moving forward with the technology. And in this techno-civic world, and we need to use the visual tools. So you can use the record, you can use the recording process, you can use some videos here, you can collect your, even if you are doing the survey also, in that case also, you can use the new visual methods and tools. Even data interpretation, you can do with that some visual interpretation in the final stage of your research. So we will explain it later on. So today our discussion is all about that what is qualitative research design. So clearly it is the research design or method we are exploring the real human behavior, complexity in the behavior, real say phenomena, okay, natural occurrence, all these are covered by the qualitative research design. It is really in-depth research because you have to be very dynamic. And during the research process, you have to adopt also some new steps in your research. It is realistic. We cannot conduct it inside one laboratory. The nature is our laboratory. We have to understand that is you are conducting it in a natural environment and you are collecting the real data. So you have to enjoy this research. This research is truly wonderful for each and everyone, those who are into some particular subject, or if you are going with the mixed method of the research also, make sure that you are going with the qualitative research design and with the proper approach. So I hope that this will be useful for you. So stay tuned with us. We will come with another presentation. I will also explain about the different methods, about the after data collection, what is coding, how you can go for publication purpose. So different topic will be discussed. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'm winding up this presentation. Thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste from my side.